Could everybody please stand for posting of colors?
Can you read? Color? Forward. Mark. Mark time. Mark. Color. Up. Hold. Breathe, man. Arm. Forward. Arm. Hold. Forward. Mark.
Please be seated. Good evening. I'm Tim O'Brien, Chairman of the Board of Trustees for Life Directions in Detroit. First, thank you to the Color Guard from Western International High School. Well, let's have a round of applause. We already did that. And we'll do it again. Now, on behalf of the board, I'd like to welcome you to the 2012 Tribute Celebration. It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and that's what Life Directions is all about. What a time to have a solution to prevent the school dropout crisis and violence in Detroit neighborhoods. Through Life Directions, young people are rooted in their values, challenge their peers to go on to finish high school and to go to college or to enter a career path. High school students mentor middle school students. Young adults in their 20s and 30s, along with elders, are showing our young people how to make it in the adult world. Families of preschool children come together to learn personal and family management skills so they can help their children achieve success. These are the core programs of Life Directions. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the evening, and I want to personally thank each and every one of you for coming here tonight to support our mission. It's my privilege now to introduce this evening's Master of Ceremonies. He's an award-winning radio personality and producer, columnist, and philanthropist, Michael Patrick Shields. You can hear his morning show on WDTW AM 1310. He is also author of the motivational book, Invite Yourself to the Party. So please join me in welcoming Michael Patrick Shields.
Oh, I've got news at this time of year that you're going to be really happy about. I'm not running for office, and I don't want any campaign contributions. I think that's worth some applause. You get a little break. I am on the radio all across the state. The main program is in the state capitol, but here in Detroit we're heard on WDTW AM 1310 from 9 in the morning until noon. And I've got listeners all over the state, and it's a lot different to speak to a group in person like this than on the radio, because on the radio I can't see how all my listeners are, you know, as bored as you are right in front of me like this. So I get a, my son is here though, if I can say hello, Harrison Shields. He's a freshman in high school. Would you stand up? Good to have a backup in case, you know, I fail. I'm not sure how good of a mentor I was to him, though. In 8th grade, I took him on a father-son trip to Las Vegas. And his mother said, I hope you know what you're doing. Then we looked at the fountains and all that kind of thing. But I made up for it, though, a couple of years ago. I said, you want to go to the Thanksgiving parade downtown Detroit? And he said, yeah, that sounds like fun. So we stayed at the Renaissance Center, you know, 47 stories up the night before, looking at the water and just having a great time connecting and talking. And it was all going fine. He liked it a lot. And in the morning, of course, you just walk across the street to the parade. It's right there at the foot of town. But we went into one of the buildings and up to the 2nd floor. And the next thing you know, someone was putting him in a clown costume and putting makeup on his face, because I had arranged for us to be in the parade with one of the float companies. And so he's sitting there in shock, and 9-year-old looks up at me and says, as they're putting makeup on his face, Dad, how could you do this to me? But by the time it was over, and he got to make kids happy, you know, passing out candy and throwing candy, and he saw how they lit up and how excited they were, I think it was a good lesson as to how if you get involved in your community and make people feel good, even in a silly clown costume, it's a really nice lesson, and that was a lot of fun. And I, as an adult too, you know, I have mentors, and one of my main mentors is, I don't know, 27 stories up in this building, Dan Lepp, the CEO of Blue Cross. And I touch base with him all the time because he's a very decisive fellow, and when I'm on the fence, he can usually size things up like Willie Moscone with a pool table. He knows where all the balls are going to go. And so it was fun to come here tonight and speak at Blue Cross headquarters. I do want to remind you in that regard that someone's going to be around to collect the copay on the hors d'oeuvres. But it goes toward your deductible because it was an in-network chef. So don't worry about that. J.P. McCarthy was my mentor when I was 24 years old. I was his producer here in Detroit, and he taught me. I had no business producing his program when I was 24. And I know he emceed this event in the past, and so that's why it was really special for me to be invited to do this by Mr. Hathaway, who you can blame when it's over. But JP, you know, my first day there, it was Mr. McCarthy this, Mr. McCarthy that, and he sat me down and he said, call me Joe. And that was very nice of him. He was a star, as you know, Hall of Fame and all that. And then he would say, I have socks older than you, when he wanted to put me in my place. Which wasn't often, and he's taught me things like, you know, you can never go wrong with a blazer. That's a good lesson to learn when you're a kid. And it's right. And we went and did the broadcast from Tokyo, from the Tokyo Motor Show. And, you know, there were lots of big shots there, the CEOs and everybody else. And one afternoon he said, come on, just you and I are going to go. I said, where? He said, just come on. So we walked out of the Okura Hotel, and we went down in the subway, and he liked to try to, you know, decipher the subways. And he took me to the Imperial Palace Hotel, into the bar. And I said, what's this all about? You know, it's interesting. And he said, I just wanted you to drink where MacArthur drank. I thought that was the coolest thing as a 24-year-old. I had to go look up who MacArthur was. But when I found out, it was pretty cool. And then I'm a very strange person, because I also got to work for his chief rival, Dick Purton, who was the funny side of the coin, if you will. And with Dick Purton, it was mostly getting his coffee and getting his car washed across the street, which was also very cool, but I learned a big lesson from him. You know, if you don't mind doing the little things, you'll get the nuggets out of these people when you're mentoring for them. And it was, you know, you get up early to come here, and it's hard work and all that, but let me assure you this. There's no harder job in this building than the salespeople. That's a good lesson to learn, too, to value that. So there's no business like show business, and here we are, and we're going to have some fun. And speaking of Blue Cross, Audrey Harvey is here, the Vice President and Controller from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, and she will join us next. Right there.
Good evening. My name is Audrey Harvey, and I'm the Vice President and Controller here at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. I'm pleased to be able to host you for the 33rd tribute being held here. Life Directions has enriched the lives of many diverse young adults through your major programs, and we are very appreciative for your impact on the community. We also salute Beaumont Health Systems and Dr. David Obuzinski, this year's award honorees, and all of you who are here this evening to support them. I also want to take a minute to thank Roy Nessler from Blue Cross and our retiree, Frank Jackson, for all the support that they've given to Life Directions over the years. So on behalf of Blue Cross, I just would like to welcome you and thank you for your participation, and I hope you enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much. Be sure to say hi to Dan for me if you would, if you see him. Now we're going to have the invocation, and Elder Annette Howard, a Life Directions alumna, is here to do that right there. Thank you very much.
Let us pray. God our Father and Creator of all life, we pause to give you thanks for Life Directions and for this tribute event. As we gather on this evening, may we be guided by your wisdom, your love, and the abiding presence of your Spirit. For your wisdom teaches us about what is important in life and gives us the knowledge that our gifts are not for ourselves, but for others. Your love reminds us that our compassion is for the least of these. Your Spirit empowers us to recognize the ways that we are blessed and to build community that is characterized by joy and by service to others. So we thank you for this day. We thank you for the founders of Life Direction, for Father John, Sister Rosalie, for the McDonalds, Father Alex, and we thank you for the nurture and the love that has held this organization together. We thank you for the board members and for their sustaining power. And then we thank you for the alumni and all that has gone before us and has gone through Life Directions. And oh God, we especially thank you on this evening for Dr. David Obuzinski. Oh God, we thank you for his achievement in life and how he was moved through Life Directions and built his life on serving others, but he didn't stop there, but chose to give back. And then we thank you for Beaumont Hospital, for the health system, for their generosity, and for all that they do in the community. Now it's our prayer, oh God, that you will just be with us on this evening, and for all the young people that are here, we thank you, and those that are standing before us, give them strength and courage. These and all things we ask in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you. We're going to meet two blessings right now. Young people who, through Life Directions and the Peer Motivation Program at Western International High School, are learning to be self-responsible adults. And first, we will meet with Lizbeth Diaz, who is ready right now. Here she is.
To the Peer Motivation staff, Sister Rosalie, Father John, my fellow peer motivators, and my outstanding English teacher, Miss Taylor, who's not here, my parents and guests, I'd like to thank all of you for making Life Directions possible. My name is Lizbeth Diaz. I was born and raised in the city of Detroit. I spent most of my life here, although most of my childhood memories lie in Mexico. Peer Motivation is a program that's directed by Life Directions. This program not only motivates students to strive for their goal, but it has them see life in a different perspective. It has them see what life really is about. Conflict and resolution is when you face a problem and you overcome it. Peer motivation had the people who attended, including me, see what problems we face, like in our community or our daily life. They had us see that running away from problems isn't the best solution, that we can talk to people about them. Indeed, to ask people who are older, like you guys, for resolutions, since you may have come across the same problem before. Importantly, peer motivation has helped the people who attended. It has helped them meet new people, which is one of the things teens need, communication with other teens. It may be hard to make friends since you don't know the intentions of the person you're going to hang out with. It made them realize that education is vitally important, therefore to think about grades and make outstanding decisions. This has also made them able to express themselves freely in front of others, and one stated that he is now able to express himself without ridicule. It has also showed them that they are caring adults who care about the lives of teens. Additionally, it had brought them together as students, as family, as friends, and as family. Peer motivation has also helped me in various ways. It has helped me meet new people. It has helped me see people's point of view in life. Since my goal is to help others, it has me see what ways I can help them. It had me think of what I want to be in life and what to do to get there. It's helped me discover talents within me I hadn't seen before. Thank you.
All right. Wait, Lizbeth's speech was sponsored by Just for Men Hair Club, for those of us who got the old reference there. Very cute. Lizbeth, do you know who Ashley Francis is? She's pretty cool. She's going to come and talk next. Ashley Francis is here, I think, I hope. There she is.
Good evening. My name is Ashley Francis. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys, with my family, Father John, Sister Rosalie, Christine. It's been a great experience in Life Directions. It's taught me a lot. I realized that this program not only teaches you to help others, but to realize that, you need a change in your life. I love this program. It's been a great experience in my life. It's just been a wonderful experience. I've learned a lot from Sister Rosalie, Father John, and all of the people that I've met. I'm very happy to continue with this program to see what's coming up next. I thank my family for everything. If it would have been for them, I would have not been here, and I would have not been the person that I'm right now. I just, want to thank all of you guys for everything, for your support, and I just want to tell young people that they can follow their dreams, be who you guys want to be, and don't let nobody put you guys or your dreams down. Thank you.
I take back my promise not to ask for campaign contributions, because I'd like to start her campaign, Ashley, right now. For mayor, president, whatever you want to be, just to walk up right here, both of you, and share your feelings like that in a microphone in front of a room of people is a great, great accomplishment at your age. And it's just going to get easier and better as you go along. Congratulations. And, if either of you want to host a radio show, I could use a month of sleeping in. Just let me know. Two major contributors tonight we're going to honor, too, to the Life Directions success. Patrick McDonald, alumnus and Life Directions Board of Trustee member, will present the first award. Love a name like Patrick McDonald. The Irish. And Scott.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Patrick McDonald. I'm the eldest son of Alex and Judy McDonald, co-founders of Life Directions. And put this in perspective, I was 8 years old when this started. I'm 48 now. And through all this time, Life Directions has managed to touch so many lives, and mine is no exception. I'm an alumni myself, and I continue to support the program because I too believe that it takes a community to raise a child. and I am currently involved with the peer mentoring program at Western High School, where we have the opportunity to mentor high school students so they in turn mentor 8th grade students. It has truly been a gratifying journey to watch these high school students change and become responsible young adults. I look out in the crowd and I see a lot of people who deserve awards tonight. And through their tireless efforts and their financial support, this mentoring program in Life Directions wouldn't be what it is today. And you've inspired me and you challenged me, and you know who you are. I thank you. But none more deserved are, sorry about that. There's none more deserving than tonight's honoree, Dr. David Obazinski, who's being honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award for his 37 years with Life Directions. And I'm going to read from this plaque because it says it the best. While it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a courageous man to wake the village. We recognize and honor Dr. David Obazinski, an alumnus of Life Directions, for his extraordinary dedication to mentoring young people. As a Squire Master of the Knights of Columbus, as a passionate, healing pediatrician of high personal and professional esteem, as a leading model of forgiveness as a way of peacemaking, as a faithful husband and father, we proudly bestow the Lifetime Achievement Award for his faithful perseverance, encouraging his adult peers to be spiritual leaders in a society that lacks role models, and in putting into action the principle that we are to do our best, knowing God will do the rest. So we honor you, Doctor, with this plaque.
I feel just as shocked as I did the night I was contacted by Judy McDonald, who is one of the co-founders, and asked me if I would accept this award. I do have a little things to say. My first reaction was surprise. It's sort of like a kid. You get called on, and your ticket is picked for an award or for a prize that they're raffling off, and so you get all excited. But then at the same time, I'm kind of humbled because I look at all the different persons who I've known through the years who have been part of Life Directions, and I say, who, me? Can't be me. I have done a whole lot, So I really feel humbled about it. There's so many great people who I've met over through the years in Life Directions who you've met here. Some of them you met here tonight. Father John, Sister Rosalie, Judy McDonald. Those are folks that I knew back in when I made my first contact with Life Directions in 1975. I was a little innocent senior in high school, and also a member of our Knights of Columbus youth group called the Columbian Squires. And I was invited to go on a weekend by our chief counselor of the group, Father Bob Crossmeyer, who is a Passionist priest who's now down in Alabama, and he's a pastor of a parish there. And he was invited through Father Alex, who at that time, Father Alex Steinmiller was a father prior for our group. And so he was closely in contact with us. And so those two folks sort of got me into and involved with Life Directions. And after that, it just sort of, I think it just sort of has, as Father John would say, the Spirit has a mind of its own. It just takes off. I was involved with a circle in Allen Park, and I want to take a moment to remember two people who are very important, who are also a part of Life Directions, who are no longer with us, and that's Stephanie Chappell and Larry Chappell. They were part of our youth group, the Knights of Columbus, as well, and they helped sort of had a peer mentoring circle in Allen Park at the time, and I was part of that group. I also worked on team members on different weekends that Life Directions, or Life Search at the time was called, and it was very, actually I think, you say you put a lot into one of these weekends, because you have to do a lot of work and you have to reflect and you have to prepare for this, but the rewards from being with the young people is just so much greater than what you put in. So I also was involved with as co-director for Weekends, which was another whole dimension of seeing young people in a whole different dimension and seeing people in general in a whole different dimension than I've ever had before. And then eventually I became part of the support community, and all through the years of med school, I remember Sister Rosalie says, you know, I'm her doctor. As I was going through med school, wanting to keep that human compassion side of me alive. And I think I owe a lot of it to Life Directions, because I met actually a few weeks back, I met a young man who was in the Columbian Squares youth group in another group in Detroit, who I had known, and he was younger, from about 10 years younger than me, and he was interested in going to med school, and he wanted to become a doctor. And I ran into him at actually his father's funeral, and he said his mom, who lost her husband, her spouse, said, "So you're the one the reason why my son is not a doctor." Well, actually, talking to this young man who is now 48, he was 45, something like that, he was saying that had nothing to do with me as to why he didn't want to be a doctor. In fact, if it was for me, he probably would be a doctor, but it's because the people he had come in contact with were so cold in the medical profession. And that's, it's hard, because I think it's easy to go through our training as a physician and to lose that compassion side, to lose that human side of you. And I think, if Life Directions was that part that helped me keep that part alive and keep the spirit alive in me. I also worked as, advising Life Directions over the years, helping them out with different medical concerns that had come up with young people, and the staff wanted some direction on and some support on, and so I was glad to help them on that, trying to just do whatever I can to help young people and help their work. We also, back in, I think, the early 90s, 93 or so, a number of people in the support community, Judy McDonald, myself, a few other people, worked on revising a reflection booklet that was used it's called The Word of Life. And it's really a very powerful reflection booklet that the group uses as part of their support for each other and prayer for each other. And it really was and is still a very powerful and living word today in my life. So. I also want to thank people that are here with me. You've, heard about different people in my life through the years, but the other people that I cannot forget that are very much integral with me are my family that are here tonight. My wife Cheryl, who I want to thank for being here and for all her support over the years, and then I have. And then I have two of my three daughters who are here, Sarah and Emily Obazinski, who are here. They just finished college. In fact, they're in New York in school, and I had to go and do a road trip this past weekend and go pick them up and help them move back home. So it was kind of always an interesting trip, but beautiful trip to go through Canada. So thank them for their support. And then I want to thank my partner who's here tonight with his wife, John Dorsey and Lorraine Dorsey. My partner, John Dorsey, we talk about mentors. He's been sort of my mentor. He's been in practice. I joined him back in 1987, and so we're approaching 25 years this summer that I've been in practice with him, and can't say enough about all the support he's given me, as well as his direction too. I think there's some divine intervention in how things sort of come together. So how I kind of joined the practice, I think that's just beyond me, but it certainly was a good fit. And so I thank him and his wife for their support too. But lastly, I do want to really seriously thank the co-founders of Life Directions who are here tonight, Father John, Sister Rosalie, and Father Alex couldn't be here, but also Judy McDonald too as well, and her husband Alex McDonald. I want to remember him too, for all their support through the years, because they're great people. They've provided so much for so many, and I know as they say, it's a spirit that moves through them, and I can only say that my work, being a pediatrician, as I do work with young people, do work with families day to day, it's really the spirit that's moving through me as well. So I thank you on behalf of all the young people I serve for this award, for this honor.
Thomas Hathaway, Life Directions Detroit Board Trustee, you know him, and Life Directions National Board of Directors. Your turn at the microphone, if you would, sir. Please welcome him.
Greetings all, and thank you for coming here this evening. Your presence not only honors Life Directions, but does homage to our splendid honorees this evening. And I'm going to ask that Rick Swain, the Executive Vice President of the Beaumont Health System, and the President of Grosse Pointe Beaumont come up here and do a little bit of work waiting with me. The Guiding Light Award, which will be presented to the Beaumont Health System this evening, is a singular recognition by Life Directions of that individual or enterprise which is demonstrated both by character, by actions, that it stands apart from its peers and has become a model of excellence, inspiration, and hope for others to be motivated to be followed. Renowned health system, community leader, charitable benefactor to our neighborhoods, it is with deep affection and humble thanksgiving that Life Directions remembers and honors Beaumont Health System this evening. For a decade, you have walked with us, making known your profound reverence for sharing our gifts with others in the knowledge that as often as you did it for the least of mine, you did it for me. By publicly supporting our work and by donating more than $50,000 to Life Directions over the past 9 years, Beaumont Health Systems has walked with Life Directions. With a history as ancient and revered as the Greek civilization from which the word medicine is taken, healthcare has always been a matter of media or balance, and healers have always been important to the community and held in high esteem. Ancient civilizations from Egypt to Greece to Rome held the belief that the body must be treated in whole, not in its individual parts, by the medicus, or the physician as we call them today. Beaumont has extended this ancient philosophy into its holistic belief that as a healthcare leader in our communities, its patient care, its quality, its safety, its research and education must also extend beyond its hospitals and clinics to the doors into the neighborhoods where our people and the people it serves live and work. Beaumont Health System, under the wise direction of Gene Michalski and the Beaumont Foundation, under the expert and compassionate stewardship of Margaret Casey, have responded to the larger community needs and have invested in programs that improve the health and well-being of our community and offer hope to those who are challenged by life. To a city painfully emerging from a cycle of economic depression and the consequence of social unrest and discontent, Beaumont has brought hope as well as health. And we have said that an institution that bears the name of Life Directions must judge the achievement of its honorees by a standard that many might not understand. In an age when opportunity is squandered by indolence or indifference, when rights are suffocated and disrespected by violence, where trust is trampled by arrogance, Beaumont has risen over many of the institutions of our times as an exemplar of excellence. Its dedicated industry, its respectful conscience, and its humble accountability in giving back to the community are a commitment we all can recognize and try to emulate. In so many ways, Beaumont's embrace of the challenge and responsibility of improving the lives of the community it serves is the very embodiment of Life Directions' own mission, vision, and values. The word virtue is a translation of the Roman term and ultimately of the Greek term arete. It means an excellence, a superior capacity to do something really worth doing or to govern oneself according to the highest of principles. Your arete, Beaumont, your excellence, has never been more in evidence than in your long affiliation in giving back to the community, such as delivering more than $173 million in community benefits in 2010 alone. And how do they do that? The SAY Newton Health Clinic, which serves homeless and provides medical care at the clinic at the Clara Rutherford Academy in Detroit. How do they do that? Covenant Community Health, which provides primary and specialty medical care for those who cannot afford it, serving over 1,000 patients in Southwest Detroit. In legal aid for children and families of children living in poverty, where free on-site legal assistance is provided. But that's not all. They have parenting programs which provide guidance, education to new parents, as well as to infants who suffer special challenges. And there are TAR Wars. It's a prevention education program in the elementary years, which is an essential element in raising a drug-free child. Yes, Beaumont, you have challenged our complacency and call us to a totally new way of life. You involve new and personal societal responsibilities for us. You give concrete witness and relevance as well as dignity, which St. Ignatius of Loyola exhorted to give freely of what we have been freely given by God. The honor of this day is more for you as well as for us. You have given us a larger vision of life and what it's about. Your dedicated staff has lived their life in implementing your vision. And so we celebrate your achievement, which challenges us, your calling to the community and social values of responsibility, which inspires us, and your legacy as a leader in the community, which beckons us gently but insistently to follow you. And so, proud of its long and steadfast commitment to working with the economically poor, the at-risk youth in our community, and an acknowledgement of your continuing commitment to the work of Life Directions, that all might know of our gratitude, respect, and admiration for you, Beaumont, as you join our previous cherished and distinguished honorees, and in tribute and in praise, Life Directions hails you this day as a leader and as a partner in our mission, and proudly confers upon you the Guiding Light Award of 2012.
So this, yes. Thank you. Wow. That was nice. Thank you. I am truly amazed as I walk through this facility, as I was introduced to some of the students, the young adults, truly amazed at the maturity of these individuals. I think back when I was their age, oh my gosh, I just don't know if I was even close to what they're able to do and the way they handle themselves. So you need to be proud. All of you need to be proud. The students need to be proud of what you've accomplished and where you are today. So I just can't tell you enough. I have just a few remarks, just a few remarks. I think we're all quite aware of all the programs that all of you have brought up in the community and the successes. I came up through finance, so I'm a finance guy, I'm a CPA, and I look at results. And results are important. So programs are important, but so are results. So let me give you some results. Let me read you a couple things. First a quote. Researchers from Loyola University, the University of Michigan, and Chicago Public Schools all concluded that our participants in these programs grew in responsibility, compassion, and values. Let me give you some stats. 93% of the participating 8th graders stay in school and went on to high school. 82% of the participating students increased their percentile ranking in math. 68% of the participating students increased their involvement in school activities. 67% of the participating students get along better with others. It goes on and on. That's the results. That's what you need to be proud of. That's wonderful. Let me read one more quote. Unique to Life Directions is its view that the path to excellence requires journeying back down the ladder. Young adult partner with persons younger than themselves to make a difference for the next generation. Each circle of peer relationships is supported and guided through the wisdom gained from maturity. As Tom said, it's all about giving back. It's all about giving back. Beaumont Hospital has been blessed with wonderful doctors. It's been blessed with wonderful facilities and equipment. It also wants to give back. It has given back through our physicians who go out into the communities, through the number of programs that Tom mentioned. But this isn't about Beaumont tonight. This is about Life Directions. This is all about Life Directions. And again, about the wonderful, wonderful programs that you've brought to this community. You know what's really neat? What's really neat is all of you, along with Beaumont, along with the hard work of the individuals in Life Directions, have provided the opportunity to change the course of an individual's life. What's more important than that? What's more important than that? So I applaud all of you. I applaud all of you for all that you've done, and I thank you again for this wonderful award. Thank you.
Don't go too far, Father. Reverend John Phelps is with us, the co-founder, president, and CEO of Life Directions, for reflections. Please come to the podium.
I'm going to have a way of doing this that's going to free us to understand what you were hearing. I'm going to ask anyone who's in 8th grade to please stand. I know you got to be sharp. All right. Now I'm going to ask all of you to come out of your chairs, and I want you to stand here in front. Now as they're coming forward, they're going to stand right in front of the first step. Right in front of the first step. I'm going to ask anybody who's in high school to please stand. If you're in high school, okay, give them a hand, right? I'm going to ask the high school students to come up and stand in front behind them. Come on up. And you'll be on that first step. Now I'm going to ask all of the alumni of Life Directions, which means you've been part of a Life Search Weekend, a Focus Life program, the neighborhood program, to please stand. I'm going to ask all of you to come and stand behind them. Now, as they're coming forward, you're going to begin to see what we mean by a pyramid of support. The 8th graders, the peer mentors that are in the first row, are going to be mentored into the high school by those who stand behind them. 1 out of 2 would not get to 10th grade unless there was a program that did it. 50% don't make it to 10th grade. So when you heard 93%, that's how you change it. Put somebody in the high school that knows them. These high school students want to go to college. They want to have a quality career. How are they ever going to be able to do that? Look at the one standing behind them. One of them is physically challenged. She is also an Olympic awardee in Australia. She started with 1977, Marguerite Maddox. She had a dog, and she, for 35 years, wanted me to know she wanted me to know that I was a TAB, a temporarily able-bodied person. And she also was a very strong encourager to basketball players so that they would find out that every talent they had was a gift that she never received. And they never started to take themselves for granted. She's a strong challenge to her peers. Now I'm going to ask the board members to stand of Life Directions. I'd like the board members to come up and stand behind. Come up and stand behind all of these young adults. And as they're coming forward, I want you to know that the board is able to generate the support necessary for all of this to happen. And what you see here is a group of adults who are connected to young adults, who are connected to high school students, who are connected to 8th graders. You see the elimination of violence. You see the elimination of dropouts. You see the elimination of the very things that you hear people talk about. I'm from Missouri, the show me state. That's why I've been in it for 39 years. And I've been in it with my co-founders who are present. I won't ask them to walk, I'll just ask them to stand. Judy McDonald and her sister Rosalie. Thank you. And what you'll see in your program, when you look at the programs, is you'll see Focus Family. Judy McDonald, when her oldest child was 10, and her first son that you heard, Michael, was 8, she had children all the way down to 1 year of age. We started our Focus Family program. And then we said that if you touch them before they enter first grade, they'll get through college. All 8 of her children either finish college or have their own business, make $50,000 to $70,000 to $90,000 a year, and they grew up in Southwest Detroit and went to Southwestern High School. That's the way it works. So my final comment to all of you is that as we watch the color guard walk out of here, our nation will not survive unless our children take our place. It won't happen. Our children will not take our place if they don't learn how to care for their elders as well as their children. So you know the challenge. But I'd like to have the parents of the 2 ones who spoke to be able to stand. Si es posible, de pie, por favor. De pie, por favor. Sí, gracias. In a society that wonders how Mexico can care for the United States, we have the privilege and honor of people who want to have their children win. So I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank all these young people and young adults. And I want to thank everyone, especially those who have given of their time and talent and are no longer with us, the families that invested in us that have gone home to heaven, that they themselves remember what they did on earth made a difference to an awful lot of children and children's children. So thank you all for the night. And I think I'd like to be able to have the 2 awardees to be able to be in front of you, okay? The person who represented Beaumont to stand in the front. And Dave, you got to come out of the middle of the row out in the front here, okay? I need you to be on the other side over here, okay? And as the pictures are being taken, let me be able to just end us with a final prayer. We thank you for drawing us together. We thank you for coming to a place that represents insurance and a place that insures the life of many people. And we thank you for the children, the young adults and the adults who are going to take our place so that this 21st century will be a place for the global community to know how to care for each other so that all people, no matter what their culture, their creed, or the color of their skin, will know that they have a place at the table if all they do is care enough to give to others what they've received themselves. May we who are all tabs know that we're temporarily able-bodied, and someday someone will care for us. Thank you for the night.
While everyone's getting back to their seats, Board Member Don Gazorek is going to let us know about a fun way we can support Life Directions. And there you are, right there. Thank you.
I will keep this very short. You've seen the results of a lot of efforts by a lot of people. Nobody yet has talked about money. This is obviously one of the main fundraisers that Life Directions has during the course of the year, our tribute function. The other function that I'd like to just have you put down for a save the date perhaps is September 10th, 2012. Our second event is our annual golf outing. For our second year, it's going to be at Western Golf and Country Club, which is conveniently located at Beach Daily and 5 Mile Road. It's a terrific day. It starts at 1 o'clock with lunch and goes through dinner with an honors award and prizes and dinner. And we don't tell Father John about this, but there is a bar. He doesn't know where it is. But in any event, I would just ask you at this point, it's another big fundraiser. It's one of the events that is sponsored by Life Directions that allows all of these other good things to happen. And it's a wonderful opportunity to have some good friendship and good fellowship with a lot of people who are like-minded and share the same goals as all of us in this room, and hopefully others out there as well. So I would just ask you to keep open that date, September 10th, 2012. I think it's a Monday. If you put it in your calendars now, you have no excuse. All right? Thank you.
Since we mentioned drinking, we might as well have a little raffle to go with it. These are the business cards that you put in the fishbowl for 4 tickets to the hydroplane races, the Gold Cup on Detroit River, July 15th, and keep it fair. We'll have Father draw the winner. Thank you. Close your eyes.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Come on back up, Don. You won the tickets to the Gold Cup. I guess you don't. Congratulations.
I would like to donate this to the families of one of the... Okay.
Oh, we'll sort that out then.
Let Father John figure that out.
Someone's going to see some, that's really fun. Right on the river there. Very cool. Those hydroplanes go as fast as I'm going to drive back to Lansing because I got to get up at 3 in the morning for the radio shows. We'll see you tomorrow on WDTW from 9 until noon. It's 13:10 a.m. But thanks especially tonight to the platinum sponsor, Beaumont Health System, and gold sponsors, O'Brien Construction Company, Plunkett Cooney, S&M Heating and Sales Company, and the Lear Corporation. Thank you very much for your support of Life Directions. Now, what will happen now is the students got to get home to finish their homework and get to bed. So the honor guard will come up and retrieve the colors. Then they will exit. The students will exit behind them with a huge round of applause from us. And then we'll go home for the night. So thank you very much. My name is Michael Patrick Shields, and I really appreciate being here tonight. And I was touched, and I'm looking forward to sharing the message as Father did on my show last week.
Read, color. Oh, where, Mark? Mark time. Mark. Color. Up. Hold. Breathe then. Arm. Over. Arm. Hold. Forward. Mark.
The students with shirts on, you just go out right now and thank them all.